Hi, I'm Margie Remmers with Crystal Clear Cash Flow, and every single day I get questions about the QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor Certification test every single day. So I'm getting a little overwhelmed with having to respond to all these messages. So I decided to put together this video. It's going to be everything you ever needed to know about the QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor Certification test. I have no idea how long this video is going to be because I'm going to cover a lot of stuff. So I'm going to put down in the comments below a table of contents so you'll be able to just skip to the timestamp for the specific question that you had, and hopefully I will knock out everything. If you have any additional questions that I don't cover here, of course, comment below and or reach out to me. And I don't know, if there are a bunch that I didn't cover, then I will consider remaking another video, but I think that I have a pretty good grasp on what everyone is asking since I have been inundated with all these questions. So I'm going to hop over to a presentation slideshow format. I don't know how to do that little thing that the gurus do with the picture down in the corner, like everyone's doing that. I don't know how to do it, so it'll just be a static picture of me, but I wanted to let you know that I'm a real person and I'm really gonna answer all these questions for you, and we'll just go from there. So let's hop over to the slideshow. Okay, so as I mentioned, my name is Margie Remmers. My company is Crystal Clear Cash Flow. Just a little bit about me. I am a lean bookkeeper, QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor, and daily money manager. My website is crystalclearcashflow.com. I am also the creator of the fast and easy way to QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor Certification, both the basic and advanced courses. You can find more about those at crystalclearcashflow.com/QBO. And as I mentioned, people ask me every single day a bunch of questions about the QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor certification. So the number one question people ask me is ProAdvisor certification worth it? And of course, the answer is absolutely, positively yes. And here's why. Now, when I was first considering becoming a bookkeeper, I reached out to another bookkeeper that I knew, and she gave me a ton of advice. And one of the things she said to me is that I absolutely had to get my QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor certification. And she said she had not ever had one single client ask her if she was certified. She said, it's not that kind of a certification. She said, but the thing is that when you get your certification, it forces you to learn all of the ins and outs of QuickBooks Online. So you're going to learn all of the things and little tricks and different features that you wouldn't otherwise if you were just kind of learning it on your own. And then once you have that certification, of course, Intuit is going to keep feeding you the all of the new stuff. You do have to recertify every year, and they're going to tell you what's new that's going on. And so you're always going to be in the loop if you have that ProAdvisor certification. The second thing is that it gives you bragging rights. Like once you have that certification, you can put that everywhere. So you can put it in your email signature, you can put it on your business card, you can put it on your website. Everyone knows what QuickBooks Online is. It is the #1 accounting software in the world, and it has been around for ages. And when you introduce yourself and you say that you are a QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor, people know what that means. They will remember it, and they will give you referrals, and they will just keep it in their brains that that's what you do, and they'll reach out to you if you need help. The third thing is that it allows you to be listed in the ProAdvisor website. So once you get that basic first level certification, you can create a profile. And here is my profile. This is what it looks like. It's the Intuit's Find a ProAdvisor or Find an Accountant, or they have a bunch of different domains to help people find you. And then you can put all your information about here, and it will actually collect leads for you. So you this could be your only website. If you are just starting out in your business, this could be your only website if you wanted to, and you just purchase a domain to have it point here. Now, this is the string, the URL for my ProAdvisor profile, and that's super long. But I did create a little quick link. It's super easy to do. Don't ask me to do it. Ask your web person to do it, but it's super easy to just do a redirect, and it takes people directly there. So I have that little quick link, but I could, if I wanted to, just set up www.crystalclearcashflow.com, and then when people went there, it went directly to my ProAdvisor website. I mean, it's got everything that you need on there, including a way to collect reviews. So, and this is super valuable too. So if you scroll down after you clicked the reviews, or scroll down on the page, you would have all the reviews from the different people, the stars and the uses and the services, and and all of that stuff. It's just so valuable, so impactful when people see that. And then the last reason why it's so worth it is that Intuit will market your business for you. Now, I'm not saying that you can rely solely on your ProAdvisor page, but it's a huge aspect of marketing your business, and Intuit does it. So Intuit spends tons of money making sure and paying for Google Ads and everything, making sure that their Find a ProAdvisor or Find an Accountant or whatever ranks high on searches. And then people go to that website, they look for somebody local, or they look for somebody that does specific things. And Intuit pays for that. They pay to market your business for you. As long as you are listed there, then you'll show up and people will find you without you having to do anything. So yes, 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 absolutely. The ProAdvisor certification is worth it. Now, the second question that people ask me is, how do I sign up for my free QuickBooks Online Accountant account? Now, people that are talking to me already know that that exists. If you don't, then I'll just tell you that, that QuickBooks or Intuit provides a free account for accounting professionals. And this accountant account is kind of special. Not only is it special because it's free, but it's also special because it allows you to connect to other QuickBooks Online subscriptions. So you could have multiple, you'll be able to connect to multiple clients under your one accountant account, and it's totally free. So how do you find it? Well, it's a long website to get there. So again, I created a little quick link for you. Go to crystalclearcashflow.com/free QBOA. And when you see that QBOA, that means QuickBooks Online Accountant. So, so just head over there and it'll take you to this page. If you look up at the URL, you see it's like a long thing. Who can remember that? But anyway, it goes to this page and then you just sign up for free. They don't ask you for background checks or anything to like prove that you're actually a business or anything. You're just going to put in your business name and your contact information, and then you're good to go. You're going to have this free accounting software that you can then use for yourself and your clients. All right, so the third question people ask me is, how do I access the free ProAdvisor training? So you might not know this, but Intuit provides all this training for QuickBooks Online, and it's really smart for them to do that, right? It's because they want ProAdvisors out there talking to people about their software. They want the ProAdvisors to be as educated as possible, so they put together this free training. You have to know how to get to it. Once you log in, you're going to go on the left-hand side. We call that the left nav bar. And then you're going to select ProAdvisor. You're going to select training. And then it's going to take you to this page, which is going to list a ton of different online courses that you can take. The first one that's there will be whatever they're promoting at the moment. And so in this case, for this one, it is that Introduction to QuickBooks Online for Accountants. It's already automatically open, expanded. You could go through this training. It's probably valuable to like kind of get your feet wet, but this is not the certification course. So to get to the certification course, you want to close that little arrow, and then you'll see all of them listed here. And there's more that you can't see on the screen. So there's the QuickBooks Online certification. That's the basic level. And then there's the QuickBooks Online Advanced certification. So you're just going to click that little down arrow, and that will open up the training. And so those are all of the different sections. And what we're seeing here is what's called the self-paced training. So they have these different modules, and you just go through them and learn the information. Now Intuit does also provide free webinars. So if you clicked webinar, it would take you to something like this, depending on what is being offered right now. They offer them about once a month, every other month, something like that. They're live. And if you learn by hearing, like I do, then they're valuable because you kind of get that information in your ear, like while you're watching the slideshow. But one thing that you need to know is even though it's live, you can't stop and ask questions. So there really is they have a chat window, but it doesn't really work. You might as well be watching the recorded version, and there are recorded versions too, so you can take that. But for our purposes today, we're going to talk about the self-paced training. So you'll notice that there are 8 different sections in the training. That's going to be important in a little bit. And you'll notice that for each section, it says how long that QuickBooks or Intuit expects that it's going to take you to get through that section. So section 1 is 1 hour. If you total all of those up, then for the basic, what they call the core level course, it's, according to them, it's 7.5 hours. The advanced level is 10 sections, and they say that's 8.5 hours. My personal experience is that you need to double that. Like 7.5 hours, I would say it's really more like 15 hours. And the advanced, it's really more like 17 hours. And maybe even longer than that. I mean, for the advanced, I took the webinar because I like to learn through hearing, and that was 3 full days of training. I was so overloaded. Oh my gosh, it was so much information. And that was 3 full days. And then I still had to go through the training and over and again. So 7.5 hours, 8.5 hours, that's really not even close to how long it's going to take you. Double that or more. I mean, I think I probably spent about 6 weeks really diving into the advanced information and getting through that. That's how long it took. So, all right. So the next question is, how do I access the sample company? So this is something that's actually really cool and I'm just so grateful that Intuit provides this, is that they have a company out there that is just it's like a sandbox. It's for you to play in, and you can go in and you can learn different features and test different things out. It's super, super, super helpful. So the way you get there is once you log into your account, you're going to click this little gear icon up in the upper right-hand corner, and you're going to select Sample Company. And once you do that, you'll get this little warning. Now, you cannot be in the sample company and in your QuickBooks Online Accountant account at the same time. Now, this is going to be important when it comes to taking the test, because you can't be taking the test and then open up the sample company because you'll lose your test. So what you can do is, if you can, open the sample company in a different browser. So for example, I took the test in Google Chrome, which is what they actually recommend. And then I had in Safari, I had the sample company open so that I could look stuff up there. So anyway, so you click continue, and then it takes you to Craig's Design and Landscaping Services. You will become very, very familiar with this pretend company because that is where they have all of this fake sample information. It's really great to play around in here. Just note that anything you change, once you log out, it'll reset. So everything will be gone. So if you are working on an exercise that takes a while, make sure that you stay logged in, that you do all of that at one time. The next question is, where do I find or take the test? So you do that inside the training course. So here we are inside that basic training, and then you'll notice that there's a little button there that says take exam. You'll also see that if it's collapsed, then you'll see it right there, take exam. Notice here that the advanced certification is grayed out and there's a lock on it. That's because you have to get your basic or core level certification before you can take the advanced test. Now, once you click on the exam button, then you'll see something like this. Now, you'll notice that the test is divided into sections, and each section exactly correlates to the training module, which we saw in the training section. So there is a test for each section and they do not overlap. So you can, in fact, it's highly recommended that you learn one section and then take the test for that section. Learn another section and then take the test for that section. A lot of people try and go through all of the training and they're just overloaded. They don't remember anything. Then they go to take the test and they're like, I don't remember anything. So it's much, much easier if you just do a section and then take the test for that section. Notice here that each section has a different number of questions. So in this case, there's 10 questions for section 1, but if you look down at section 3, there's only 9 questions and it varies. You want to calculate about 2 to 3 minutes per question. So, so the first section should take you about 20 to 30 minutes. And that's actually how Intuit came up with this about 25, I'm pretty sure, is that they did 2 to 3 minutes and then they took the average of that. So that's how long you need to set aside to take each section of the test. Next question, and I kind of already answered this, is do I have to take the entire test in one sitting? The answer is absolutely not. There are some caveats though. So while you don't have to take the entire test in one sitting, you do have to take each section in one sitting. So you need to complete a section and submit it, and then you can go off and do whatever you want after you've submitted it. But if you leave in the middle, or if you close out in the middle of one section, then you will lose that. And then when you go back to take it again, the questions will be different because there's a question bank and it's somewhat random, not entirely random, but somewhat random that'll pick which questions. So, so make sure you take and submit one full section before you go and do anything else. And then once you submit that section, you can't edit that section anymore. So click submit after you're absolutely sure that those are the right answers. All right, so the next question that people ask me is the test timed? And the answer to that is no, it is not timed. However, your login will time out. So the test itself, you can take as long as you want, as long as you're in it, as long as you're clicking around. But your login will time out, so you don't want to go to the bathroom in the middle or take a nap or whatever. Now you can, and it's highly recommended that you increase the amount of time before you get timed out. I'm going to show you how to do that. You simply log in. You go to the gear menu again. Oh, and I forgot to mention all of these things that I'm giving you instructions for. I put together a document so that you could have the instructions and you don't have to just watch the video again. And I'm going to link that below. So you'll have a link to that document, all the other links that I've mentioned in this video, I'll put in the description, and then the table of contents too that I mentioned. So I guess it's going to be kind of a long description. But anyway, so you click the gear icon, and then over here where it says company settings, you're going to click that. You're going to go to the advanced tab, and then you'll click the pencil icon here, and you'll notice what we're changing here is something called sign me out if inactive for, and it's the default is 1 hour, but once you click the pencil icon, you can then change it to up to 3 hours. Once you've done that, you click save, and then you click done, and then you can go on your merry way. So the next question I get is, when do I get my results? And a related question is, do I get results for each section? And this is kind of an uncomfortable topic to talk about. It's not really very fun because the answer is sometimes. Sometimes you get results for each section, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's instant, sometimes it takes a while. So I wish that I had a better answer. I wish I had a better answer for that. I'll just show you a couple of things. Here in the certification exam, you'll notice that there is a section up here that says 0 of 8 sections passed. For some of my students, when they pass a section, it will update that number. So then you'll see that they'll see that and go, oh, yay, I passed that section. Other people, it doesn't update and they don't see it. When I took the exam myself, it said for section 3, I got this little trophy. It says section passed, woohoo! And I thought, well, does that mean I didn't pass sections 1 and 2? Like, why did I get a trophy for section 3 and not 1 and 2? And the answer is, it's just quirky. I don't know. I think they're trying to tell you per section, but then they haven't rolled it out for everybody. So I don't know. I mean, I had one student who actually received the message that she had not passed a section. And then when she submitted the whole thing, it said she had passed that section. So I would not rely on those section results at all. Like, at least not until Intuit gets a little bit more stable with their QuickBooks Online certification test. For right now, you just need to wait really until you get your official results. And those will come instantly once you have submitted the entire exam. So you're going to submit each section. Then once you are finished with each section, there'll be a button to submit the entire exam. And the moment you do that, you will know whether you passed or whether you failed any individual sections. If there were any sections that you did not pass, and pass, by the way, means 80%. You have to have gotten an 80% or higher on the section, which means I showed you earlier that each section has a different number of questions. So that means that for each section, you can get some different ones wrong, right? So if your section has 10 questions, you can get 2 wrong and still be okay. If your section only has 6 questions, then you only can get 1 wrong and still have that 80%. So anyway, so you have to have at least 80% for each section to pass. And if you don't pass a particular section, they will tell you that you didn't pass that section. And they will tell you what concepts you need to work on, but they will not tell you exactly which question you missed, which can be frustrating when you then want to retake the test because you don't know. So I'm sorry, that's just kind of frustrating, but that's the way it is. All right. The last question is, if I fail, do I have to retake the whole thing? And the answer is luckily no. If you fail, you only have to retake the sections that you didn't pass. Now, it used to be, well, let me back up a little bit and say that if you do not pass after 3 tries, you do get locked out for 60 days. So you cannot take the test again for 60 days. Now, it used to be that if you failed and got locked out, then when you came back after those 60 days, you had to retake the whole thing. But people are telling me now that that's no longer the case, that even after the 60 days, you only have to retake the ones that you didn't pass. All right, so yep, you only have to take retake the sections that you missed. All right, a couple of additional tips for taking your QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor exam. As we've already talked about, and this is super important, so hopefully I've said it enough times, study one section and then take the test for that section. Don't try and study the whole thing and then try and take the whole test, because that will just be too overwhelming and it will drive you crazy. The test is open book, so I mentioned previously that you can have that sample company open as long as it's in a different browser. So it is open book, so you're welcome to look stuff up, and you can have another window to keep QuickBooks Online open, so you can look up stuff there, and then have your test in one window. And then if you want the sample company open, make sure that's a completely different browser to be able to look stuff up for that. The test is multiple choice. So if you see a round button, that means there's only one answer. If you have a checkbox, that means there are multiple answers. So sometimes they'll say, which two options are available when blah, blah, blah. Or they'll say, name 3 features of blah, blah, blah. Okay, so in that case, you'll check 2 or 3, whatever the number is. Every so often, there is a question that will not specify how many. It'll just say check all that apply or select all that apply. And that's kind of annoying because you don't know how many it's expecting. But however, here's a little trick, is that the next button will appear when you have checked the correct number of items. So if you're not sure how many you need to check, just check them until the next button becomes active, and then you will know. Now, in the advanced test, sometimes you have to do math. Sorry, folks. Sometimes you have to do math, and so it's just a short answer box that you put in. But most of the time, it's just a round button or a check box for multiple choice. So I want to go back to this first question, which is ProAdvisor certification worth it? I've gone through a bunch of things. Hopefully, in the beginning, I talked about how great the certification is, but sometimes it can be a hassle, and the training is really long, and it can be confusing. And I find that when people ask me this question, is ProAdvisor certification worth it? What they're really asking is it worth my time and effort to go through Intuit's training? Because I already mentioned that for the basic course, that's like 15 hours of your life. And that's being conservative. I mean, if you're going from nothing, if you've never learned the software, seen the software before, and you're going through that, or a lot of people are coming from desktop, and QuickBooks Online version is completely different. So in a way, it's almost like learning new software. So if you're going through that, it's time consuming, and it can be very confusing. And frankly, the training does not adequately prepare you for the test. And it doesn't do that because sometimes the questions on the test are very tricky, and they use words or terms that they didn't describe in the training. So unless especially in the advanced version, but this is also true in the basic version, is that if you have never taken an accounting class, there are just some terms like debits and credits that maybe that you don't actually know what those mean. And so it can be, going through the Intuit's training can be very frustrating and painful. And so that's why people ask me this question, like, should I even do this? Because it's just so painful right now. And it's because of that I created my fast and easy way to QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor certification courses. I come from a background of software training and development for proprietary software. And so when I was going through the training myself, I just thought, oh my gosh, I could do this so much better. I could make it so much faster and easier and just cut to the chase and explain things in a way that makes sense to people. And I just was hearing so much pain and frustration from other bookkeepers about this that I finally decided to just do it and create the course. And so let me just tell you a little bit about it. Like I said, it's called Fast and Easy. It's fast. So the reason it's fast is because we cut out the fluff. We just teach you exactly what you need to know to pass the test. The basic course, instead of taking 15 hours, you can have your certification in 4 hours. The advanced course, instead of taking 17 hours, is going to be 5 or 6 hours. I'm actually, at the time of recording this, that's still in development, but that's what it's looking like it is. It's more intensive than the basic. I mean, that's why it's called advanced. But yeah, that's going to be about 5 or 6 hours, which is still a heck of a lot better. I mean, really, I think I took 6 weeks of full-time studying and trying to get through it. So if you could get your certification, your advanced certification, in 6 hours, that would be pretty awesome for you. So it's fast and it's easy. So I have put together little videos just like this video. They each last about 30 to, in the advanced course, they're 40 minutes. In the basic course, there's a 10-minute one. So a little video that goes over the material you need for that section. Plus, for every section, there are quick notes, which is basically a summary of the information that you learned, so that when you're taking your test, remember it's open book, when you're taking your test, you can go back and remind yourself of the different things quickly and easily. And then many of the sections have exercises that go along with them. And this is something that's really lacking from the Intuit training, is that they give you a bunch of information, but they don't provide exercises for you to go into the sample company and actually learn how to do the thing. So there's exercises included with my course as well to help you with that. The other thing is that my course makes the information crystal clear. I am all about clarity. That's why I named my company Crystal Clear Cash Flow, is because I don't like things that are muddy. I don't like things that are confusing. I want things to be crystal clear. And so in my course, I made sure that I have graphics and animations and simple explanations that teach you the different pieces of information that you need to be able to pass the test. And I do it using terms that are exactly the way that you need to know those terms for the test. And frankly, that is really lacking from the Intuit training. And I get so many people complain to me about it. They're like, what? Like this term like was never in the training. How am I supposed to know that? So my course, clears that up. And then the last thing is, my course is absolutely guaranteed. I mentioned that if you take the QuickBooks Online certification test on your own and fail 3 times, then Intuit's going to prevent you from taking that test again for 60 days. And I know for me, like, that was such a frustrating idea, because what good is it for me to wait 60 days if I still don't know the information? It's not like I'm magically going to know the information 60 days later. So that was super frustrating. And for my course, you get a guaranteed pass. And the way that we do that is If you don't pass the test the first time you take it, then you can get personalized help in your retake. And this is huge. In fact, Wendy here, who I was helping her take with a retake, she said, your course is so well done and this personal help at the end is super valuable. She had one section that she hadn't passed. It's super tricky. And so we just hopped on the messenger and I helped her with her retake, and she immediately got her certification. So if you don't pass it the first time, you can get personalized help in your retake. And if you don't pass the test after your third try, we're going to completely give you your money back. But you know what? I have never had to do that because everyone passes their test. Everyone gets their certification, and we have a big party every day. I can't tell you how thrilling it is for me every time I get these messages that people have taken their test, gotten their certification, and are able to like move on with their lives and their business. So, because I feel like so many people just are they're frustrated, they're hitting their head against the wall, and they're not able to move forward in building their business because they're just so stuck on this. And so it's just so thrilling for me to hear those certification success stories. Anyway, so my courses, QuickBooks Online, Certified ProAdvisor, both basic and advanced, money back guarantee, that you will pass those in 4 to 6 hours, and you can find out more at crystalclearcashflow.com/QBO. Okay, so that's it. I hope that I was able to answer every single question that you have and everything that you need to know about the QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor Certification Test. If I missed anything, comment below, send me a message, and I will, of course, address that for you. And if you want more information about my courses that'll help you pass the certification test fast and easy, the information is in the link below about that too. So that's it. I would wish you good luck, but you don't need it because you got this. I'll see you later.